This might be one very important video that you don't want to miss. It might just be the video that your life needs right now in this season. So please do not skip, do not scroll up. Make sure you watch this video. We're going to talk about 3 very important red flags that you want to watch out for before you go into a relationship, or even if you're in a relationship you are trying to get married. And please, you don't want to miss this video. I'm Upper Praise, and there's my wife, Grace.
Yes, and folks, you do not want to miss what's upcoming, because we've spent a lot of time making this list of the red flags, both red flags in men, red flags in women, for the brothers, we got for the sisters, we got for everyone. Really, these are for all people, even if you're single, any relationship, family, anything. We want to talk about what's toxic and what to avoid. So please subscribe, please make sure you know when those upcoming videos post so that you're able to see them and even send them to friends.
Yeah, so let's dive straight right in. So number 1 red flag that you want to watch out for is what? Opposing values. Opposing values. And what does that mean? So it means that you don't want to go into a relationship where both of you value different things. And these can be really diverse. For example, as a Christian that we are, I don't want to get married to someone that is not a believer. You know?
Yeah.
While I was searching, one big one for me is I'm a Christian, and I wouldn't want to get married to someone that does not have, because being a Christian is my life, is of high value to me. So getting someone that is not a Christian would just mean that every day we're just gonna keep having conflicts in marriage.
It's because of lack of knowledge in the church. I find it crazy when other Christians will be dating a non-believer and not think anything of it, because it's in the Bible, like, do not be unequally yoked, and we'll post that verse in the description. But it's basically this example, and a yoke is something, it's like an agricultural metaphor, but it's this thing that, on the shoulders of oxen, that would have 2 oxen go together. So if one oxen is, say, this like big, strong ox, that strong Christian brother in the Lord, and the other is someone who's maybe a small oxen who can't even carry that weight of being a Christian, or maybe if it's going the wrong direction. How are you going to do anything, make any progress for the Lord, if the other person's going the wrong direction or can't, carry that with you? It'd be better to be single and to just live your single life for the Lord.
If one is not moving, it's really hard for the other one to move. It's just a lot of struggle, and really, you don't want to put yourself in that kind of situation throughout your life. You just keep regretting, So another important thing with opposing value is that you need to understand what are needs for you. So these are just general red flags. As Grace said, we'll still go into specific one in subsequent videos. For men, red flag for men, red flag for women, with examples, and you don't want to miss that one, so watch out for that. So these are just general examples. You need to know your need first. You need to know yourself first before you can even say you want to bring a woman or a man into your life. So we were listening to a story of this lady. For whatever reason, maybe because of her background, she has so much desire to work, to be able to provide for her children and all. And this is a big need for her, like it's a need for her. But for the husband, he wants a woman that can sit down and stay at home, right? A woman that will just take care of the children. So this woman has this need of working. And this man has this need of his wife should not work. So there is no way there will not be conflict in that home. So eventually lead to a divorce. So the point is, whatever is a need to you, if the opposite of it is a need for your partner, then that's a big red flag. That relationship is not advisable to go into, especially if you guys have talked about it and it looks like no one is backing down. I think it's another thing if, for example, the other partner, it's not a need. It does not really care about that thing. Using that same example, maybe for me, I want a woman that would stay at home, for example. But you don't mind. You don't mind if you stay at home. You don't mind if you.
That's strong preference.
Yeah, it's really fine. I think that's still a good sign. But if I want you to stay at home and not work, you is a big one for you that you don't stay at home. Then just imagine there will always be conflict in that kind of marriage or relationship. Some people, they just want, like a partner that can really pray for them, that can really pray over them and all. It's a need for them. Now there's this partner that doesn't care about prayer, that doesn't even go to church. There will always be conflict. So that's a big red flag. You don't want to go into a relationship where the opposite of your need is that your partner's need. it just causes a lot of unnecessary this thing that you don't want to go into.
Yeah. I know you mentioned a really good exercise I want to let them know too. You mentioned, and I know you've actually asked someone to do this, and it was actually really helpful for them, but of like to list the top 3 needs you have in a future spouse. What is the most things you desire? For instance, if it is someone who will pray for you, and then you list your two others. If your partner right now or the person you're interested in dating doesn't meet that, then why are you considering them, really?
Love is blind.
Yeah, so we're trying to help you not be blind and not make a decision you'd regret. If he's, not the prayer warrior you've been praying for, then why are you going to settle for who you have prayed for?
You can learn from my own example. So one of my big thing is that when I was single, if I put it that way, my future spouse was teachable. That one was a big need for me. So that was kind of the scale I'm trying to look at. If this person is not teachable, then it's a no-no. So that's just an example. So you must be able to list your needs, things you want in a spouse, and look out for those things. So number 2.
Number 2 is if you and your partner are always fighting, that's a red flag. If you don't want to be fighting in your marriage every day, like right now in dating, you're fighting every day. Even over stupid things, like maybe really examine, maybe go to counsel, like mentors or even counseling, and ask like, okay, what is actually the root of this problem? I remember even like one of the stories we've heard about a woman who kind of, because of past relationships she was in, had learned to kind of like expect to be arguing all the time with her partner, or even like physical abuse, which we'll get into later in later videos. But who, because of being raised that way, because of being in past relationships that were like that, who expected that this is the norm, that's what affection looks like. But we're here to tell you that's not normal. That should not be, that doesn't have to be what the rest of your life is like, even if you've experienced that in your past.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like if you keep having misunderstanding every day, there's no day. I mean, so misunderstanding is normal in every relationship. People have misunderstanding. But I think if it's too extreme, like almost every time you see there's misunderstanding, that's a big red flag. You might be incompatible, there might be something in the roots that you guys are not dealing with. It's not defined, but it keeps producing its fruit. So that's a big red flag. You might want to look at that, go for counseling, pray more about it. So I think it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah, it reminds me of that verse in Proverbs, but there's actually a lot of verses about this, but of like a nagging wife, and really it can be nagging from either side. But if you're always going to have that nagging, if you're always going to have just bitterness or cold remarks, or where it's always this like, okay, we're good, then we're hot, and then we're cold, and we're low. It doesn't have to be that weak. There can be peace in your home.
Exactly. It shouldn't be that bad that every time it's just always fighting. I mean, misunderstanding is normal, so once in a while, but one is too much. Red flag. Like, number 3, when you already tell yourself that, oh, it will change when we get married, that's a big red flag, because that's a sign that you acknowledge that something is wrong, but you are trying to cover it up, you're trying to mask it up, because love is so when you're already telling yourself that, oh, it will change when we get married, no one changed. Did a video of don't change your partner. You can check a past video, you will see there's who you are marrying before is the same person that will be after. So big red flag.
I feel like we as women can do it, because we can kind of be like, oh, I love him and it's fine, he'll change for me. I can be the one who changes him. Please keep in mind you're not the savior. I can fall into that so much, but we're not. And it's so great to know, okay, by God's grace and His mercy, I've married such an awesome man that I don't have to be worrying about those things of like, oh, whatever. But worried that, oh, he's not a Christian. Now I wish I could change him to a Christian, or I just have that regret later in life, or to be, changing on those big needs for me. Like we've gotten to, through a lot of like premarital counseling, be on the same page before we entered marriage. So
very important.
Don't shove those things under the rug when they're really important. And what makes a marriage is not just the lovey-dovey, oh, let's go on dates, let's have fun, let's travel, but actually, okay, where are we going, and is it even in the same direction?
So to just round all of these up, there are definitely differences in marriage. There are differences in different gender, you behave differently, and that's totally fine. Those are things you work on. But when it comes to values, things that are need for you, if those things don't align, then it's a big red flag. So they are different between you having differences
Yeah.
because of various factors,
Yeah, different preferences, but you're able to compromise.
personality, background. That's a different thing entirely. When we're talking about top values, top needs for you, if those are not aligning, then it's a big red flag. So just watch out for those things in your partner and pray along that God will give you wisdom and
Amen.
open your eyes. So we're gonna show more videos where we'll be more specific, the red flags in men and women. Watch out for that, and we just hope this has blessed you one way or the other. Thank you for